what is it? It is June 9th at 2:15 a.m. It's a Friday. So I have picked up The City of Nightmares. My library book has abandoned me. So I earlier read chapter 1. So I figured since I'm awake on my night off after 9 days, I figured I'll sit here and do some reading for maybe a half an hour, 40 minutes, and see how far I can get into it. The first chapter was pretty intriguing. Nightmares coming to life when you dream, and you don't always dream. And in the city Newham, where they live, they put kilo mine in the tap water so that you don't dream. But if you drink alcohol, which is illegal, you can dream and therefore turn into a nightmare. So there's this hints at a Department of Nightmare Defense, which I'm assuming are the people who kill and find nightmares. Our main character, I think, I don't know, it's only chapter 1. Our main character is part of an association called Nightmare Trauma Therapy. So, therapy group for people who have lost loved ones from them turning into a nightmare. I don't know, but we'll see. So, I figure I'll do a little reading right here at my desk in my dirty living room, and let's see how it goes. Sticky notes on my back. My daughter was putting kick me notes on me. Okay, so I got to page 38, and so 30 minutes of reading. I don't read very fast, do I? Anyway, I think it's going to be pretty good. So our main character, Ness, we know that her sister turned into a nightmare of a man-eating spider and killed her father. I'm not sure what happened to her mother, but our main character, Ness, then went to live with her aunt in Newham, and her aunt passed away. So that's when she signed up to join the Friends of the Restful Soul, which is a company group that helps people that have lost other people to nightmares. So it's a therapy group that her aunt made her attend after her father was munched. Her best friend Priya dreams of joining the Department of Nightmare Defense, and Ness is scared of everything. She's scared of being out in the real world. If any time she thinks a nightmare's around, she bails. She gets freaked out. She literally runs away, and so she's at risk for being kicked out of this place, which would make her homeless, and she'd have nothing else, and she'd be out in the world with the nightmares. So I'm excited. I think I'm going to try and pick this up tomorrow if I can. I have kind of a busy day because I'm off, so we will see. But so far, so good. I think it's supposed to be YA, but there's some innuendos and talks of partying and stuff, but that's cool with me. No complaints. So, yeah, I'm excited. I definitely think we'll get this done by the end of the month. I'm going to have to read it physically, which will be a little tough because I like to read laying in bed and it's hard to hold books while I'm doing that, but we'll see what we can do. Well, I will check in soon. Good night. City of Nightmares update. So I finally got my library hold for it. So I've been able to read on my Kindle today, and I got from 10% to 28%. The update that I had given you originally still stands, but now we have learned that you can still live as a nightmare. So if you become a nightmare, as long as you don't kill anybody or hurt anybody, you can exist as a nightmare. So being a nightmare doesn't automatically mean you have to be murdered. Nessa has therapy society that Nessa works has decided to let her go on a mail run. And a mail run, basically, like, you don't trust your packages in Newham to be sent in the mail because there's so much theft and corruption that nothing ever gets where it's supposed to be. So they're trying to let her go on a mail run to see if she has a purpose she can serve. So they put her on a boat. She's going to be gone like 3 days. And on the boat, she meets a vampire named Cyril is his name. The boat explodes, and her and Cy land in the ocean and swim to shore. And they're walking, and they're in this uninhabited part of the island, camping out at a cabin where there's monster bones and a whole family worth of bones, including children. And where I left off, Ness is dreaming of her sister's transformation. Since she doesn't have her pills because they were lost somewhere in the explosion, now she's at risk for dreaming. So I am enjoying it so far, but I'm having a big problem with the way that the writer refers to people. When she's talking about people in the side story, she's saying the white girl, the black guy. The guy is black, the girl is white. Like, every time I read it, it just pulls me out because it's 2023. I don't know when you wrote this, but it was released this year, pretty sure, or last year at the latest. And that is not how we speak about people anymore. Now you can say he was a person of color. His skin was dark caramel. Her skin was as pale as a white flower. We don't call people black people white people. And this is really, really pulling me out of the story. So I'm going to give it 50%. And if the writer keeps bringing up people this way, I'm going to have to DNF it because the story's okay. It's interesting. I'm sure it's going to go fun places, but I don't want to own a book that speaks or characterizes or identifies people in this way. It bothers me. Black. The guy walking down the street was black. The girl Cy is dancing with is white. She's a white girl. Like, for real? Hello, City of Nightmares reading vlog. It is June 16th at 7:45 a.m. and I am DNFing the book. I think that I think the magic is incredible. I think the world is incredible. The writing is okay. but what's really getting me is this language. So in the last 50 pages that I've read this morning, there are a total of 6 instances of this. Page 146, chapter 13. The officer waiting for me is black, capital B. Older, with salt and pepper hair and round glasses. Now, why does he need to be black? Can't we just say the officer is a man? Is a human? Is a gentleman? 149, chapter 13. He's older, white, with a shock of thick gray hair and a tweed jacket. The W is lowercase. Again, doesn't matter what his color is, or his ethnicity, or his race. No. Page 163, chapter 14. Livia grins at us both. She's black, capital B. Tall and slim, with turquoise glasses and braids tied back with a blue something. Page 180, chapter 15. She's white, but heavily tanned from the sun, lowercase w. And I wonder where on earth she got a tan in Newham. She's talking about the woman that's there to assassinate her. This goes on all through the book. And I am done. I can't look past it. I don't see, maybe because I'm a modern woman in the modern times, and I don't see humans in colors, and I don't see the point of distinguishing them. It's the color of a person's skin doesn't dictate their personality, doesn't dictate their family settings, and it's pulling me out, and I don't want to support a writer who does this, even if the magic system is cool and the world's really cool. I ain't got that. So I am DNFing this at 53%, and I will be selling it. Hopefully I can make some money back on it so I can buy a book I want. Read Your Special Editions Challenge, Book 1, Prompt 1, completed, ending in a DNF and selling. So we gotta draw a new one for July and see what we get. Hello, we are here in my amazing living room. Oh, Sylvanas. Shh. To wrap up our first month of Read Your Special Editions challenge on Storygraph. I have finished my June book, City of Nightmares, and as you just saw, I threw it in the trash drawer. Protected trash drawer, because I will be selling it. I just want to be clear that although I am DNFing it, and because of the language, the reason that this bothers me so much is that, and I know in all of the fantasy books that I read, all of, anything that most of us read, it's going to talk about the characters involved. We're going to get a physical description so that we're able to picture them, and that is just fine. There's better ways of going about it. For instance, if it's an epic fantasy, we're going to learn that, individuals from this part of their world have darker skin and brown eyes and maybe, hair that's a little bit textured. And there are ways of doing that. And that is completely acceptable. Most books we read, what I'm basically saying is I'm not trying to exclude any one particular type. It was the way it was done. It was happening in people that were not part of the story. They were not going to be consistent parts of the stories. And it was any individual that was introduced. And this is an urban fantasy. So it's, in this Newham city, there's refugees from all over the world. I'm assuming the world has been destroyed and, the new world is being made. And there's going to be a plethora of different kinds of people, races, cultures combining. But the way that it was done, it wasn't classy, and it just felt, it just disgusted me, honestly. There's a character that Sai is dancing with that is not relevant at all. She's talked about 2 minutes in the whole book, not even that long. And we don't need to know she's white. We don't need to know that Priya's sister's girlfriend is black. And if we do, then we need to know that because there's going to be a cultural difference. Or she's going to give different sorts of advice and things like that. But that's not the case. This is the author just spewing 2 colors, which make absolutely no sense because there's not 2 colors in the world. And it was pointless. Anyway, whether you agree with me or not, it is a hard DNF. I did pick up Book of Night, which was a bonus. I am keeping that. I gave it 4.25 stars. It joined the shelf of keeps. And I'm excited because I have the Stolen Heir coming from Fairy Loot. I did purchase that, so I'll be able to start a little Holly Black collection. So yeah, that was it. It was a good first month. If anyone wants to join, it's on Storygraph. You can join anonymously and just follow along. Or, so later in the month, because it's the 17th now, so later in the month, we'll pull out of my little beautiful jar and see what we're going to be reading for July. So I am excited. I'm proud of myself. I got 2 books out of the 40 plus that I've purchased from Fairy Loot. So yeah, just wanted to come in and say it was a success. I think July will be too. All right, talk to you later.